Greetings and welcome back to Stellaris, my Commonwealth of Man playthrough. We are expecting a raid from the Half-Liferan Marauders. I'm not sure which direction they're going to come from. If they appear here, they're coming this way. But if they don't appear here, they might end up routing around. I've got to keep an eye out to see if any of my allies spot them, or if I notice them sneaking around another direction. Let's see, if they don't come through here, there might be a connection back this way, but then they would have to sneak around a long way to come in this way, or sneak around this way to come in over here. And that's one place I do not have a defensive station yet. Hopefully they route to the shortest route and I will be able to intercept them at safe. We shall see.
Skywatch has sighted a spaceborne life form.
More amoeba popped up here. Let's see, do you have Scout? You have Scout. I will go ahead and push forward. That may help me get visibility on their territory. They are not within a nebula that I can tell. So we should be able to get sight on their territory and see where their ships are, because I can pull back faster than they can close distance, I'm pretty sure. And if whether I see them or not, I may take the time to blast these amoeba out of existence.
Ships refitted.
Yes, they're fully refitted now. Let's go ahead and start construction of our further 4. We're going to need another point defense, another MK, and another LE. And for now, I may go ahead and add an additional missile. When I get whirlwind missiles, I will probably end up replacing that. But for now, an additional missile will work. And let us do all of those before we finish the mercenary garrison.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
We've completed the global defense grid that gives us access to the fortress. The strategic value of a good defense remains as relevant today as it was to our predecessors in the far distant past. Technology does not render fortifications obsolete. It merely changes their requirements. More Edict Fund would be nice. That would also give us a further upgrade to the bureaucracy buildings, which would give us more unity. We also could use this to develop some worlds further. I don't believe we have a new world specialist anymore, though. But I know we also don't have a statecraft. Let's see, that would take about 3.5 years. Yes, we do not have a statecraft or a new worlds. That would take a little bit longer and give us an extra envoy, as well as reducing our empire size effect slightly. We only have 3 impassable mountains, but they are blocking planets that are close to their capacity. We are about to establish a few additional colonies, so we can just shuffle population off of those worlds rather than developing them further right now. I think the additional envoy and reducing the effect of empire size would actually be more beneficial to us. It would only take about 7 months longer. And we can actually replace this person with the one in the Traveler. And that knocked another month off of it. Now we are getting research agreement for that. The Soren, of course, had cruisers. And the Multics did have the code breaking and Bureau of Espionage. Alright, let's go ahead and take on these amoeba before we do any further scouting.
Our pioneers have made planetfall.
And I think we will mobilize the Corinth to head this way. Oh, that would take over a year. Almost 2 years. We have begun the colonization of Fincastle. There are no blockers to clear now, once we do terraforming, so we don't need to worry about that. Which does remind me, St. Natchbull is one we plan on terraforming. That's active volcano that it will remove there.
Construction complete.
We have completed the mercenary garrison down here, so we can proceed with the platform upgrades. As well as here. I just noticed my naval capacity has dropped. It's saying I have 10 anchorages at plus 40. It's not taking into account the naval logistics offices that are adding another 32. For some reason, that modifier has dropped. But 10 at 4 would be 40. But then 8 of mine also are with a naval logistics office, adding another 2 each. Actually, that would be 16 more. But still, it should be sufficient naval capacity. For some reason, it is not boosted. It's not taking into account that when I look here. That may just be a display bug, but it's costing me upkeep because of it. And I did not mean to build a hangar bay there. I meant to add an additional anchorage to the ones I have upgraded just to make up for this.
Fleet action underway.
Alright, we just decimated them. They never got through our shields. Now that's even more regenerative hull tissue and amoeba flagella tech. No rush on it. And we want to go here to get line of sight into their territory. And I'll go ahead and tell this person to research the projects in this system and then return to assisting research. Because I am cloaked is the reason it's going to take me so long. If I deactivate cloak, it will be 4 months before I can reactivate it. But if I deactivate it, it will cut some time off of this. Let's see. It didn't really seem to cut much time off of it. I guess it's while the cloak is recharging, it isn't really cutting the time. There, it dropped now, once I hit the next system. So I'll have it back up before I get to this system, just in case the mercenary fleet is passing through there. And the Mirovandian enterprises have closed their borders to us. They are a mega corporation. That's a shame. They would actually be useful to be on good terms with. Where are they actually? They don't... It says they're here. Oh, they're about to be conquered anyway. Yeah, they're at war against the Tenderzun, the Verzak, and the Galactic Destican polity because they did an uprising. So I'm not really going to worry about them right now if they may not stick around. The Soran broke their defensive pact with the Misharan state.
Ships refitted.
Alright, we now have line of sight here. I do not see their... There's the raiding fleet, 40K. They aren't currently moving. But they do have 40K, so this will be a tough fight. There's actually nothing in this system except for a 7.8K station. I'm almost tempted to rid them of a system. That would be fairly tough, though. Maybe after they get done raiding me and I get retrofitted and repaired, I can come down through here. I think I'm going to park right here for now. So I can see when their raiding fleet moves to, and whether it goes here or disappears. Yeah, the only two paths they have is out that way or this way. So if their raiding fleet does not move to here, I know they're trying to loop around somewhere else. As a matter of fact, we could look at the system now. Their raiding party is this one. I'll have to see if it's moving. Right now it just seems to be sitting there. We have to upgrade this section again, as well as this one. We have not only succeeded in terraforming Maestros 3, but we have done something even better. During the final stretch of the process, our terraforming specialists managed to make it a perfect home for our local fauna, creating a planet very eerily similar to Earth. All our local plant life is there, but none of the familiar terrain. So we can boost habitability and immigration pull by calling it second home, and set the name to Earth 2, or just get the bonus. So we will call it Earth 2. Now have my... No, I still haven't finished my colony ships. But Earth 2 actually does look like Earth. And we missed the animation. That happens really quick, not just when you look at it. So both Obashoth and Earth 2 are completed. That gives us way more habitability than we actually need. I think instead of queuing up 2 more terraforming, I'm only going to queue up 1 right now. So let's go to the expansion planner. The next largest world would be this 14 Savannah. If we start terraforming it to a continental world, that'll take 10 years. Their raiding fleet still hasn't budged.
Ships refitted.
Both star-based fleets are fully upgraded. Misharan State broke their migration treaty with the Soran combined clans. Now, I don't have the alloys to build all of these defense platforms right now. I can queue up maybe 1 at each of them. I think the priority should be Shaula Station. We need an additional PD there. Actually, let's go ahead and buy another... no, that would bankrupt me at this point. I might need the energy credits. Yeah, we'll just queue up one at each of them right now. An additional point defense at each of them. Strike Force Dragon is 1 month away, and we will have all of them here. But again, I still don't know which direction they're coming from. If this is indeed the raiding fleet, it has not budged yet.
Science Division report success.
Quantum hacking. Primitive encryption systems stand no chance against modern decryption tools. Let's see, shields would take 3 years, about the time we get cruisers. UV lasers would take 10 months. Even more code breaking, that'd be 4 years though. Yeah, let's knock out the UV lasers. We do have a specialist of that field, I believe. Yes. Currently on the Voyager. Now we don't really want to stick our level 4 in there. We want our level 4 assisting research on like Deneb. So we will stick our level 4 there in the Traveler. And use Win Sifu to do this. She's level 3. Not too bad. If they don't start moving soon, I may move all 3 of my fleets up here and assault this and remove it. Because that will destroy one of their systems. Since there's nobody defending in it right now. And having 4 fleets in here, each equal to that, I should be able to drop it fairly quickly. Let's go ahead and see about moving these forces up to mate up with them. It would take a little over 3 months. That would also give me more tech to research, because it will produce salvage.
Construction complete.
Tanab Starbase built its anchorage. I'm still not getting the bonus for the Naval Logistics Office for some reason. And I was getting it earlier. It seems to flicker. But that gives us sufficient capacity. I don't need to upgrade further right now. I can save these for defense platforms. It still has not budged. And all of my fleets are converged. So let's have all 4 of them. They'll all be there about the same time. We are going to go for that station. And then we will see if they move. Preemptive strike. I forgot to pay attention to when my colony ships became available. I believe this was Earth 2. Or was this one Earth 2? Maestros is Earth 2. Alright, so this one will have a random name. Mendos. And this one will be Earth 2. Oh, about 3 months to get there. About 6 months to get to that continental world. They still have not moved. Let's go ahead and queue up a discipline. Soran has declared the Andoran Reapers their rival.
Engaging enemy station.
None of them are budging now that I'm in combat with their station either. Yep, they seem completely unconcerned. What about these fleets? They're not moving. There's more raiders. Radioactive raiders. They're only a 38k strength. Okay, the 38k are the defense fleets. The radioactive raiders are equivalent to the critical pointers and the oxidizers. The actual raiding fleet is the raiding fleet, and it has not budged. We've already done some damage to it before it has even been able to hit us. Yeah, it finally started hitting us with proton launchers. Ouch, those are going to hurt.
Battle debris secured.
We did not lose a ship, I don't believe. No, we did not. So I need all of you to pull back, with the exception of Strike Force Gorgon, which is going to stay right here to keep an eye on the raiders. Now let's remove Strike Force Gorgon from that list and have these 3 fleets return to safe station. Nothing is moving. I don't think any of them are moving. And so before we head back, we are going to research this project. It has proton launchers, devastator torpedoes, UV lasers, plasma accelerators, and regenerative hull tissue. We will probably have UV lasers before we do that, because it's going to take more than a month to get there. It's going to take almost 4 months to get there, and then 3 months to research that. So that will probably give us progress toward the one above UV lasers, I think. This one gave us a little bit to the breeding program and regenerative hull tissue. Now I might have to kick on my cloak when I get close if this fleet starts moving. But again, I'm going to keep an eye on them. It'd be nice if my allies came down here and claimed this area. There's a primitive civilization in here. In the late medieval age. Tender Zun made peace with the Miravandians. All participating vassals became independent. So the Miravandians did manage to keep a small empire. They'll be there for at least 10 years. If we had a trade agreement with them, a commercial pact, they could start building holdings on our worlds that would boost the efficiency of our worlds. But again, that's not a priority for me right now. So I engaged the Bureau of Espionage. That's going to drop me about 100 unity, which will extend this probably close to 40. It'll go back up to 120 months, I think. But in about 6 months, I will have 2 more anchorages churned out, which will increase my naval capacity further so that I can drop this other edict, Warring States, which should return it back to normal, because it has the exact same cost as Enhanced Surveillance. And Enhanced for Surveillance, giving me more available envoys, will allow me to start establishing a spy network with the Glostwarhenians. Now right now it appears most of their battle groups have moved out. They have a few still up here. I'm not sure where they're headed or if they're even really moving much. But I do not see any of their fleets over here. My espionage level is not showing me the location of their fleets yet. That's why. In about 7 months, I should tick over to 60 and be able to see that. Because at 60, I get... No, I do not get the location of their fleets. I just get the location of their star bases. I guess I need more than 60 for that. And that's with medium intel. I think I would need high, which would be closer to 90, I think. And we'll cap out... Well, I get all the way to 100 here, because they have very weak encryption. And I also kicked on crystalline sensors just to give me a little bit extra range to help me spot if that particular fleet is sneaking around another way. Now with the additional envoy, I am going to go to the Glostwarhenians and start building a spy network. Well, they also have very weak encryption, which gets me a cap of 100 already. I don't need any assets to reach 100 with the spy network with our current encryption differences. And it drops the difficulty down drastically for each of these. I could go ahead and start stealing technology again. I will need to prepare sleeper cells there in about 4 years. Here in about 3. Each of those require 45. And I would like to bank about 200 to spin Citadel off as its own empire. Mirovandian Enterprises has embraced the Eternal Vigilance Alliance and become more xenophobic. Now that is this mega corporation.
Our pioneers have made planetfall.
Hegemony of Ubaria has declared the Adnoran Reapers their rival. They are now inferior. I could go back to declaring them a rival. Tindrazun Star Conglomerate will guarantee the independence of the next Nexus. Esteemed patron, we are pleased to announce record profits during this fiscal interval. As such, we have included a generous bonus to your regular dividends. Chunk of energy credits. Good. I needed that.
Construction complete.
Safe Starbase finally completed its mercenary garrison, I believe. Or no, that was the last of its defenses. No, that was its mercenary garrison. Alright, now I should have sufficient naval capacity. I can drop, and I forgot to check society management. Yeah, it jumped it up to the 120s. I should be able to drop warring states. Let's see. Yes, I will be exactly at my naval capacity for a bit. And that will cut down and drop this back down to what it was. So I will just have delayed a few months. It was at 84. And I think I got half or 75% progress for the last 6 months. So it'll be around 80 when it's done. Now let's see how that did to my factions. Yeah, being exactly at it gives me my faction approval rating bonus. But again, these guys for the next 8 years are still going to have a penalty. I haven't actually looked at the slave living standards. Let's see, set rights. I currently have them on basic subsistence. Yeah, stratified economy is for non-slaves. Let's see, if we go back to humans, that gives even more political power to my rulers, and gives more happiness to my rulers, and doesn't really have an impact on my specialist at all. It does impact my workers. They'll lose some upkeep, have a penalty to happiness, and lose political power. And that will only really affect the populations on Citadel. That's the only place where I have human workers. My science vessel is 2 days away from getting there. I'm going to go ahead and cloak. It should still make it there in 2 days. I no longer need to leave my fleet here while they are in the system, and I think I'm going to go ahead and survey this system, and then probably sneak through here to survey that system. So I'm going to pull back to here with my fleet, so that when the science ship moves out, I still have line of sight on this system, at least, to see if they move into it.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Ultraviolet lasers are an updated, more powerful version of the blue predecessors. Accurate and destructive, these weapons are capable of inflicting great damage. I believe shields should be my next one. Do I have a particle specialist? Not particles. That is field manipulation. No, I do not, so I will just leave Beta Brawn in here. Because after I survey this debris, I am going to want to survey the system, and I'm going to want to take Sakura for the anomaly discovery chance. If I get some small anomalies that help me out, that'd be great.
Our pioneers have made planetfall.
None of the planets that I am currently doing will have any blockers because terraforming clears them all. And actually, now that I have terraforming, as soon as I get the technology to terraform inhabited planets, there would be a encouragement for me to start claiming territory instead of creating more vassals, because I could actually make better use of the territory than they could. So I could overtake their territory and terraform their planets to one more suitable for humans, and then move out their people. Let's see, for example, this arid world, I don't really see the details on it, so I'm not that positive about it. Oh, and I should be swapping out one of these anchorages for a detection array, because in 6 months I'm going to get a boost to naval capacity when this Military Readiness Act passes. Okay, it actually didn't drop that much. It's still at... And our leader just died. At the age of 83, Marshal Ning Sima has died. Oh, I would hate to lose Hayden Kingsley for this. Plus, she's going to die of old age soon anyway. I think the general is the best one to pick. Leader experience gain, doesn't really take anything from any of my feats. I'm actually going to spend the influence or the unity to elect her, because I can do without a general right now, and that will help my replacements when my leaders start dying to level up. Yeah, unfortunately we're about to lose Hayden Kingsley, my scout and aggressive, and then probably a couple of other of my admirals are up there. Yeah, Roxanne Ward. And for some reason they didn't replace the Fortress Legionnaires fleet when that one died. It's been almost 2 years since they declared they were going to be raiding me, and they haven't moved yet. The Sovereign Jezajan Assembly has entered a migration treaty with the Etherian Galactic League. My one damaged fleet has repaired.
Construction complete.
Fincastle has been established. We still don't have the technology to build a gas extraction well here. I am eventually going to need hollow theaters, but that can wait. I think the first thing I need to develop is a generator district, and I can start moving some slaves over here to work it after it is built, because I am suffering a deficit of energy credits. Other than that, we have further gotten the anchorages here, it appears. I still don't see the bonus showing up for the anchorages, which is weird.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
Alright, now that I have finished that, let us get Sakura. That is going to impact my research slightly, because that was the one at Finhabatus. She's going to drop a few levels, but that's fine. And we will have them survey this system and then survey that system. So we got proton launchers, devastator torpedoes, plasma accelerators, and regenerative hull tissue. We actually completed regenerative hull tissue. A genetically altered version of silicon-based bacteria could potentially be manipulated to regenerate non-organic materials. Now that wasn't a technology we were currently researching, so I don't need to worry about replacing one.
Ships refitted.
I upgraded my defense platforms with large lasers.
Ships refitted.
All of them should now be fully upgraded. Except for Deneb. Deneb has been a bit behind. I haven't bothered to upgrade its stations yet.
Tracking spaceborne life form.
Where? Void cloud. Yep, they ran into void clouds. 2 years before the next one. I don't think I can boost mine enough to push natural sanctuaries out. We'll have to see as we get closer. But that gave us another boost to naval capacity. Can replace that with a detection array. Did my bulwark suddenly start affecting me again? Yeah, giving me the upgrade cost and speed. Or is it something else I have in this sector? I don't know. That only cost... Yeah, I'm actually getting a discount now for... Oh, the Grand Marshal. Right. My Grand Marshal has Home in the Sky, Leader Reaches for the Stars, reduces module cost and upgrade cost. And Charismatic, which reduces Edict's upkeep and increases Edict's fund. Leader is exceptionally charismatic, enforcing their will with ease. So my Edict cost dropped a little bit, which ended up giving me more unity per month again, and did a reduction on how long it's going to take me to get operational security. It's still going to be 6.5 years about, and they still have not moved. It just occurred to me that I have been played. I have a perfect opportunity here to rip away the hegemony of Ubaria, and I have been distracted by the threat of raiders. Not because I am afraid of the raiders, but it was arrogance. I do not want to pay the bribe. They will give me a chance to bribe them before they actually attack. And it will be a tough fight if I resist. I will probably lose a significant amount of my ships, which would prevent me from carrying out the war I want to do. But I would keep the raiders at bay and get some salvage from fighting their ships that would give me some tech, some very advanced tech. Because I've done this before in a Commonwealth of Man game. I've taken on raiders when they were far superior to me and lost 60% of my fleets. But it was still enough. If you do at least half damage to them, they will give up on their raid and turn around and leave your space. So you only have to punch them basically a good amount to get them to turn back, but you're going to take some damage doing it. And that's what I was seeking to do. I was seeking to destroy a few of their ships and make them turn around so I could get the salvage and get some tech advancement from them, just because I didn't want to pay tribute. It was arrogance. And you know what? If they want tribute, they'll get tribute. We are ignoring the raiders. We are sending our fleets down here, and we are going to do the war I planned on. That was a pretty good distraction, but the question is, I had 3 rivals. I have the Gloucester-Wahenian, the United Uthabulan clans, and the... Where the hell are they? The Adnoran League. Now the question is, which of them randomly decided to pay these guys to attack me? Was it actually a calculated decision by the AI since it was already in a war, it wanted a rival distracted? Or was it just a random chance? I don't know. If these were human players, I would say it was either the Gloucester-Wahenian or the Uthabulan allied clans who did it as a calculated ploy. But since it's not human opponents, it was just random algorithm. But we are just going to ignore them. If they come, I'll pay the tribute if I can afford to, or I will just let them raid. I don't care. They're not going to destroy anything. They're not going to capture anything. They'll do some damage. They'll steal some of my resources, and they'll steal some of my pops. I'm fine with that. I'm not at a point now where I just want to make a stand against the raiders for the sake of making a stand against the raiders. I need to push and continue what I'm doing, which is carving up my opponents and building up my strength. So let's check our agreements. We need to renegotiate this one so that they join our offensive contracts. It would take 150 for that. If I gave them unified sensors, it'd drop to 100. What if I chunked that up to 375? I can afford 175 right now. What if I drop that down to defensive? 225. We can renegotiate us joining their conflicts later. This will give us an extra holding so we can get even further bonus with them. We're going to send this deal out so that they will join in our offensive conflicts. Because I believe I've already made it, yes, they join in our offensive conflicts. So these guys will now also join in our offensive conflicts. And we're going to get all of our fleets in position to push into Hegemony of Ubaria space. And I'm going to go through my fleets real quick and make sure none of them are on take point. Alright. This one is now set to discourage fleets from following. That one is set to discourage. That one is set to discourage. And that one is set to discourage. Because I do not want my allied fleet sweeping around and following me this way. I want the Latrepian domains to push this way, while I am pushing this way. And of course, the Miravandian Imperium will push whichever way is closest. They'll probably come in this way as well. But I'm going to push in through here and conquer the hegemony of Ubaria's space. I only need to get them to accept a status quo if I control all of their space. So we're going to get our fleets back in position over here. It's going to take 10 months for that one. This one would probably take close to a year. Yeah, about a year to get all of our fleets back in position over here. So that's 3 years that they have been at war down here. Hopefully, most of their fleets have gone that way and I can sweep through this territory. But if these raiders actually do start coming for me, I'll pay them whatever tribute they need. Alright, they agreed to the agreement. They're still significantly positive. And I'm going to make that even more positive when I go here to Imileto. Actually, I don't need to make that positive just yet. What I could do is put the building for the bulwarks here. The Vigil Command that boosts my defense platform cap at the cost of their alloys. When I get another building, I can add another Overlord garrison. Because right now, they don't need the loyalty so much, the loyalty boost. Yeah, overall, our bonus is 5.1 with our new agreement. Sovereignty of Tuxcali broke off their commercial pact with the sovereignty, or the sovereign Jazajan Assembly. United Nations of Earth broke their commercial pact with the Etherian Galactic League. Glosterwahenians declared rivalry against us. We're already their rival.
System reconnaissance completed.
So we finished surveying Andak, and now we're going to proceed through to Nunki. And would you look at that, the raiders still haven't moved.
Construction complete.
Larkin's Singularity has now gone for full detection arrays. My sensor range is now 4, so I should be able to detect cloaked ships within 4 tiles right now. The Glirin Pack declared war on the Tendrazun. They are rebels. So the Tendrazun probably isn't going to last much longer. I don't know. There's really not that much occupation going on here. Citizen Alliance of Orkan Fung has entered a migration treaty with the Allied Multics. The Glirin Pack has joined the Galactic Community.
Science Division reports success.
We have cruisers. Originally devised as an experimental next generation of colony ship, hull configuration, the design's ample hardpoints made it ideal for carrying heavy weapon ordnance. See, if we go for space torpedoes, that'll give us access also to the frigate design type and the torpedoes component. Let's see, autocannons would take about 3 years. We're getting shields in about 2. Yeah, I think we'll go for the frigate. We do have a propulsion expert. So we'll actually get that in about 16 months. About the time we get a reduction to our empire size, and then we'll get to pick another society tech. We may end up getting additional fleet capacity, which is what we really are going to need to add cruisers. We need about 20 more fleet capacity. We could design some cruisers, but I want to kind of wait until we get shields and other things. Plus, I'm still upgrading existing platforms and such. Senate is in recess for another year. Well, Natural Sanctuaries looks like it's still going to be the one to pop up. Fel Null Cooperative entered into a migration treaty with Uthabul and allied clans.
A new world has been secured for our colonists.
Physicists from the alien civilization on Cornagi 2 have managed to split the atom for the first time. With the discovery of nuclear fission, nuclear weapons are inevitably being produced and nuclear power plants are coming online. The Rogerian civilization has entered the critical phase where they suddenly possess the means to destroy their own world with the press of a button. Of course, they can also destroy our outpost with the press of a button, I think. So, Earth 2 has finally been established. We need a new sector down here. And we're also going to need a governor for that sector. Architectural interest would be a good one, reducing building costs, district costs, and increasing planetary build speed. This leader cultivates a strong interest in architecture and construction techniques. Now, they did kind of make it so that you have to let it progress about a day before those kick in for the most part. It hasn't really, I don't think it's really affected the cost, because they didn't want it to where you pause the game, swap out the governor, do a construction, and swap back. You actually have to let it progress. So any construction I start here is actually not going to get the reduction, I don't think. And I'm not sure what I want to build right here anyway. Let's see. 200 here. Yeah, 328 and 200 here, and we have a different governor. So yeah, I'm going to have to wait to get the bonuses for that anyway. So I'll just wait until January to do my construction anyway. Actually, I can go ahead and check it now that a few days have passed. Yeah, you see it's already reduced it from 328 and 210 to 300 and 180. That's just me being in the system with hostiles. And as you can see, as my populations grow and other things happen, I am chiseling away at the deficit I had for energy credits. I'm about 1 month from having my last fleet here in Shaula. I'm going to go ahead and hire a general for my transport fleet. I think we're going to get Saburo Watanabe. He is restrained. Leader is unusually concerned with the lives of others, taking care to avoid unnecessary deaths among their own soldiers, as well as any civilians caught in the fighting. This should allow my armies to disengage a little more frequently so they don't get damaged. It's the only really good option available, I think. But I think we're going to go ahead and start the war. So let's see. If I go to declare war, we do not have the subjugation. We must have overall higher relative power. They're now equivalent again. Huh. What about them? They're equivalent as well. So we can't subjugate them, unfortunately. Now that they are equivalent again, we could go back to having them as a rival. Who is our third rival? So we would need to build up either our economy or our fleet to get to where we could declare the war. I think I will need to be doing some... I might end up falling behind too quickly right now. Let's see. Let's select ourselves again. Yeah, they pulled above us. Their technology level is really close. Their economic strength is a little higher, and our fleet strength, we'll have to check it here. Let's see, our fleet strength is 698. Theirs is 260. So it's got to be economy that has become the problem. That and tech. So maybe if we steal a few more techs or get a few more technological increases, it'll probably take another year to do that. I do not have enough influence to steal a tech yet. So I think I will hold off on the war a little bit longer to see if I can get it to where I can at least attempt vassalization on them. Maybe if their fleet gets decimated in combat or something, we'll have to see. If it doesn't happen by the time I pop a few techs, I do have more naval capacity. I could start another fleet. That may help. Poligar is going to need a fleet. So yeah, let's just see if we can afford to build a corvette. Yes, we can. Let's look at our fleet manager. We'd want it similar. Let's see, this is Cockatrice mainly, North Star mainly, Cockatrice mainly. This one will be North Star mainly. So we will start by building a North Star. And we'll just start churning out a few ships to boost up our naval capacity and see if that does the trick of making it to where they are inferior again and we can declare the war we need to. That combined with getting a few techs. We have a new proposal. Repeal high consequence protection. With the professionalism of defense contractors is undeniable, the empires of the galactic community should not rely too heavily on private peacekeeping. You know what? I'm actually going to oppose this. Now that I have gotten my naval capacity up to the point I want, right now I could field 4 fleets, just about, and I still have more anchorages I can build. I am still in the process of upgrading another fortress. I think even with the penalties to naval capacity, I'm going to be doing good, so I would like to penalize everybody else's naval capacity. I think it's going to work out for me. And let's see, is there anything whatsoever I can do about natural sanctuaries? I would need almost 1,000 points. Let's see, does anybody have an envoy where I can... Yeah, envoys are 10%. So 10% of my diplomatic weight is only going to be about 270. I have no favors. There's not really much I can do to keep natural sanctuaries from getting passed. I could support... Yeah, I could support cooperative research channels. I have no problem with that getting passed. So yeah, let's support cooperative research channels for now. That will at least delay natural sanctuaries another 6 years. And I might be able to tweak my overall diplomatic weight by then. Especially as my fleet begins to grow and possibly I end up taking the hegemony of Ubaria.
Ships refitted.
I've done my first slew of upgrades here. I think that actually got the full upgrades. Yeah, on these two are now fully upgraded. The hangars are fully upgraded. I just need to upgrade the missile and the integrity, which I just can't afford to do right now. Yeah, no upgrade available. These two I have to upgrade.
A new world has been secured for our colonists.
Now this one Mendos. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this one, but it can have mode harvesting traps. I think I will just go ahead and start with a hollow theater, because that does not improve my empire size anymore. It's a building I'm going to eventually need, and I'm getting a surplus of consumer goods again.
Skywatch has sighted a spaceborne life form. Field engineers have cleared a blocker.
Sovereignty of Tuxcali broke their commercial pact with the Rakuten Imperium. We spotted another spaceborne life form somewhere. It may have just been a neutral one, though generally that's been when we see something hostile. I don't see any red dots, though, apart from these guys down here. There's none in our territory. Now that I have this additional fleet started, I can go into Fleet Manager and up it to where I want 20 of these interceptors, 10 of the pickets, that gets us close to our naval capacity again. That'll work for now. And we can just work on reinforcing this fleet. And I think I'm also going to... We're pretty close to finishing another terraforming. So let's go ahead and start up terraforming this third planet in the Illithium system. And then after a while we might terraform this one, because that would be in range of Caspadine. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. This one will be in range of Caspadine as well. So we need to terraform these two, and that'll just leave these two down here to terraform, and every system or planet in our territory will be terraformed. I'm going to constantly keep an eye out to see if their relative power drops. Star Realm of Shar guarantees the independence of Rishethian state. Oh! I forgot to renew the contract. Our contract with the Fortress Legionnaires has ended and their fleet is about to depart. Should we contact them and renew it? Yes. We wish to rent a fleet. It's only 402. I should have renewed it at the start of the year. I had forgotten about it. Now we need to make sure that they are staying right here. So we'll give them the order. And we need to keep an eye on them over the next few days, see if they start moving. Yeah, see, they're moving. They're trying to head back home. Stay here. No, I want you to enter orbit of the station, you fool. There we go. Yeah, I forgot to renew that contract ahead of time, but oh well. Alright, they're now listed as inferior. I can declare the vassalization, so I'm going to do that right now while they are listed as inferior. We are going to attempt to wage a war to vassalize them.
Standing by to commence offensive operations. Weapons free. Repeat, weapons free.
Oh, our weapons are not free. They're very expensive. Alright, so we're going to move all of our fleets from here in. And we're also going to have our transport fleet move in to orbit the planet. What do they got in the way of armies? They have got very few armies. We should be able to take that with no losses, because we have 6 armies to their 2. Now this is going to be an ugly fight, because they have a lot of defense platforms here. Quite a few defense platforms. We can have a look at them. Coil guns. Lots and lots of coil guns. Oh, they got some missile platforms. More coil guns. Some anti-aircraft. Well, we're not bringing aircraft. We're bringing missiles full. Okay, they have some missiles on these and quite a few anti-aircraft. Can we look at the station? It's all coil guns. They don't have hangars here. That's good. Let's see, they have a FTL inhibitor and a disruption field, which reduces our shields. Since we are going into battle, this will run a little bit of our stuff down, but we are going to fire off a bunch of edicts. We're going to fire off exotic gases for shield boost, volatile ammunition for kinetic weapon damage, and volatile explosives for explosive weapon damage, and volatile reactive armor. That's 12. We have enough volatile motes to run all of those. Focusing crystals, we can run that as well to get a little bit more energy weapon damage as well. So yeah, we can pretty much run all of our... We're going to be completely out of exotic gases, running the exotic gases for shield boost. And actually might be a little bit negative, because this might be a fractional amount. 4.68, and this one is 4.63. Okay, not too bad. So, right now, this won't be too bad to run. And we should be able to get some nice benefits going for a while during this war that will help minimize the damage our fleets take and maximize how quickly they tear up things. And we're just going to start pushing through their territory. I'll probably have these fleets split up and head different ways to get all the way down here, and then come back and rejoin. And we'll just keep pushing this way. And again, I want to make sure none of my fleets are on take point. Discourage, discourage, discourage. What about the new fleet I just designed? Discourage. Okay. So my allies should join the war their own way, hopefully. This is a neutral fleet that I can't click on. Why can't I click on their neutral fleet? Because it's not neutral anymore. 3.4K fleet. The Latrepian domains should be able to handle the combat over here. And they also have a significant transport fleet. They should be able to capture some systems for me over here, which would help with the occupation and stuff. So they can carry on the war on this side, and we will sweep down through this side and meet them in the middle. And after we have all of the hegemony of Ubaria, we really don't even need to mess with going to the Glost-Warhenians. We should be able to get a status quo by then. We only need 100 acceptance for status quo. For that, about 50 war exhaustion and 50 occupation would cover it, but more than likely we'll get higher war exhaustion before we get 50 occupation. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Again, all we really need is the status quo, and we can rip them out if we occupy all of their territory. And we don't actually have to occupy all of their territory. If we occupy all of their planets, it will do away with them, and any of the non-planet systems we don't control will just become unoccupied. We are not surprised. In fact, we expected this sooner. You will find that our forces are ready for you. No, your forces are not ready for me. You were never ready for me. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. And we've almost got enough to start stealing some tech again. Achievement unlocked, nothing to see here. Declare war with a cloaked military fleet already in the primary target's capital system. This is not a military fleet, so that was kind of a cheesy way to get that achievement. I do not consider a science vessel a military fleet. Unless my allies have a cloaked fleet around here, but I don't see one. These are the only two capitals. Yeah, this is the other capital. Nobody's in it. Tenderzun made peace with the Glost-Warhenian. Yeah, they actually did end up... Galactic Destican polity became a subject under Glost-Warhenian. Where's the Galactic Destican polity? That one. So that one will now be a member of the Allied independent systems. But it is a very tiny system. I'm not worried about it. Citizens Confederation of Gavazul declared us our rivals. So yeah, they ended the war when we started our war. That's a shame. I was kind of hoping to keep them distracted a little while longer. But again, I'm not that worried about them, honestly. Even though the war we are in... Oh! Citizens Alliance of Orc and Fung is part of it. That may be a problem. Where were they? Oh, they're back over here. Screw them. I thought they were up over here for some reason. But yeah, that's fine. We're slowly pushing this Federation, the Allied independent systems, back and going to be slowly ripping out members of it.
Engaging enemy station.
All of my fleets, thank you very much. Yeah, we're considered a little weak. Even though I have 3 fleets here. But that's because it's just matching pure hull points, not firepower. Firepower-wise, I have 23.9k. No, 24.4k to their 14. I'm going to be blowing up some of their platforms fairly quickly. And of course, I have lots of point defense. Oh, and I forgot to stop it at July 1st. Federation League is in a migration treaty with the Galactic Destican polity. So surprisingly, despite our firepower, they are actually hitting us a little harder. It looks like we've done a lot of damage to their shields, but they've actually gotten through our shields and are into our armor with the medium and large coil guns. Why are my missiles not connecting? Or do they must have sufficient point defense to shoot them down at this point. Now we're getting through. There we go. Hegemony of Ubaria entered into a migration treaty with the Galactic Destican polity. And Galactic Destican polity entered a migration treaty with the Uthubul and allied clans. Now, one of the main mistakes I made was not leading with the mercenaries. I should have led with the mercenaries so that they had suffered the brunt of the losses. The mercenaries would be replacing them instead of me having to replace them. But we've gotten all of their defense platforms now, and the mercenaries have shown up, but we have suffered some losses, so I am going to have to bank alloys to replace my lost ships at this point. Who died? Admiral Hayden Kingsley died at the age of 89. I cannot replace him until the battle is over. Alright, now I can reassign a leader here. We have sublight speed and fire rate. Gale speed, that's one of my favorite ones. Trickster is also a good one for the disengagement chance, less chance of your ships being destroyed. But yeah, we'll go with Gale speed. So we'll get Admiral Ji Yang. Actually, that may be pronounced Chi Yang. I'm not sure. Now, what did we get? Medium shields and subspace sensors. Let's go ahead and create another science ship to send this way, because we don't have another science ship in the immediate vicinity. Now, they did shoot down a lot of our missiles. Some still got through. It was still the highest damage rating to hull was our missiles. We shot down a lot of theirs. A few of their missiles got through. It was the lowest damage rating. So it was just sparingly, though they had a lot of defense platforms with missiles. And it says we only destroyed 3 defense platforms. No, we destroyed all of their defense platforms. I watched it happen. But we lost a lot of ships, destroyers and corvettes. So we have a lot of reinforcements that need to happen. So I think I'm going to take my fleets that are damaged, which is all of them, and pull back to Shala Station to repair and reinforce here. Let's see, which of these would be the quickest to reinforce? That one would actually take the longest. Yeah, we'll start reinforcing Strike Force Gorgon. Now we do have 2 shipyards here, so reinforcements will come a little bit faster as we get the alloys. And now we are finally back positive on energy credits. That's probably because of us occupying this territory. Oh, it looks like they have pushed in already over here. Yeah, they're in the process of taking on this station for us. So yes, our allies are going to do a significant amount. What are you guys doing? Not a damn thing. That's what you're doing. You're supposed to join all my conflicts. Get your butts over here in the war. But yeah, we'll pull back and do some repairs. And some refitting. And then start pushing onward again. The majority of the fighting is going to be happening over here. With our allies. We do need to make sure they don't control any of our allies' territory if we choose to go with status quo. I don't think that's going to be an issue because it's going to take a while for them to get their fleets back around this way. Yeah, the Uthabulan allied clans has a fleet way the hell back here. And that would take a long time to get back here. And I'm pretty sure the majority of Glosterwahinian are over here. Now they do have a peace treaty with the Tendrazun. They can use their territory. So they can pass through the Tendrazun territory. Can they pass through the Miravandians though? Yeah, they don't have closed borders with them. So yeah, they can pass through the Miravandians and try to come up this way to meet us up here around Hazar. That is a possibility, but either way, it's going to take them a while to get up here. But it's also going to take us a while to push in, especially with me stopping to repair right now. And having to replace some losses. Niamba 3 has been terraformed. I should have you landing, by the way, before they start churning out armies on this world.
All sword ground elements are dropping on target.
This should be a fairly quick battle on our side. The Picklings do some heavy damage. Now some of this damage modifier, they're getting 25% for army damage and 33% for defense army damage. We get that as well, but for our offensive armies, we have 110 damage. And if you notice, they're still doing a lot more damage than we are because the Picklings are strong, for one. But for another thing, the AI is now getting bonuses. They're getting actually close to the full Grand Admiral bonuses at this point. 50 more years and they will be at full bonuses. So the AI does get some bonuses to their armies. You know, I might consider moving my governor from Dutari down to Mestros, because the governor up here is the one with retired fleet officer, and this is where I'm going to be building reinforcements right now. I'm also building structures here, though, and this governor, I'll just deal with the increased cost and just try and get my alloys up. Now, we do have enough influence. I am going to see about stealing some tech here. See, do you guys... You guys, I think, had the better tech. So let's attempt to steal technology. Well, we have sleeper cells for a little bit, about 2 years. Let's go ahead and attempt to steal tech here, using our researcher. That makes it fairly easy. Hopefully we can knock it out fairly quickly. It doesn't tell us what our chances are here. Here it might. Yeah, we have no chance of not getting an insight. And we only need 2 insights to have or 3 insights to have a chance for success. But I did notice we are suffering attrition faster than them. We lost 5 ships, they lost 13, and our attrition loss is higher. Now that should change as we get a little bit more even battles and such, because I believe we suffer less war exhaustion because of our Empire type and other bonuses. There's our science ship. Let's recruit a new scientist. I think we need a statecraft person. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we could use a statecraft person right now. Let's see, 4 months left. I don't think I'm going to stick the statecraft in for just 4 more months. Well, I don't know. Let's see, if we were to put the recruit the statecraft, Marion Scott. Still 4 months, but that would enable us to put the one up here and see if we knock any off of the 16 months it was. We knocked 1 month off of shields at least. And the only ship that doesn't have anybody currently is the Wanderer. We will assign Bettina there and have her research the projects in that system. And we don't have to worry about enemies appearing on top of us, so I'll worry about cloaking after we get further in, just so I have the full movement speed. Why do I have an additional order? Oh, there were 2 debris sections in there. Fusion missiles and medium blue lasers. Those are techs I have. So, that one's just going to give us a little bit of tech bonus. Oh, that's just my science ship is now in an area where they are building reinforcements. But now that that has popped up, let's see, I want to dismiss that particular alert, but not disable the overall alerts, because I do want it to pop up so that I know if they move more hostiles into an area where I have others. So we'll dismiss that one. And let's check the progress of our armies. One of our assault armies is taking a little bit of a beating, but this fight's almost over.
Ground objective secured.
We got that planet. Now, oddly enough, yeah, we are also suffering exhaustion when they lose ships. That's not good. We may end up getting exhausted a little bit quicker. We did get a little bit of occupation. Yeah, they lost 9 ships, we lost 9 ships, we lost 5, they lost 13, and they suffered less exhaustion because of it. So I really need to keep my fleets together for a bit when I face really big stations like that. This one, sweeping through these outposts and all, should generate more exhaustion for them than us. The United Miravandian Imperium has reached Tier 3 of the Prospectorium. So it is finally full level Prospectorium. I don't think it really increased how much they're giving us. It did increase how much research we are giving them. Hegemony of Ubaria is in a migration treaty with the Rakuten Imperium. United Merivandium Imperium broke their migration treaty with the Allied Multics territories. Strike Force Medusa is repaired. It's missing a couple of destroyers. It'll take a while for me to get what I need for the destroyers, so we are going to push ahead with them and to start taking territory. Citizen Confederacy of Gavazul is in a commercial pact with the Uthabulan allied clans. Strike Force Dragon is also fully repaired. It likewise is going to take a while to reinforce. So we will send it as well. And with these two fleets, I think we're probably going to hit the... Oh, they're coming in this way. Alright, let's grab these two fleets that are on their way first. And before we hit that system... Yeah, we are going after that, but before we hit that, let's take out those guys. And let's go ahead, and I believe they're about to be in this system. Let's cloak this. And let's pull our transport fleet back for now. It's going to be a while before I get to another planet. Or, better yet, let's land. We'll launch when we need to, but that way we're not a target. Strike Force Gorgon is also ready to go after them and then that starbase. And so are the Legionnaires. We'll just have the Legionnaires go straight for Zandaban. Sovereign Jazajan Assembly has got association status with the Allied Independent Systems. That went away quick. That hostile in my territory just popped up and vanished. Alright, so we are now voting on cooperative research channels. That boosts research station output a little bit. And diplomatic weight from tech, which is going to hurt us, since I believe most people have higher tech than us. Let's see, 521. Yeah, they have double our tech. They actually don't. They have about 100 more tech. They've got double ours. They've got about 75% more. About 150% more. Or almost triple. Double ours. Almost double. 50% more. Yeah, we're not as far behind tech point-wise as I thought at this point. I could have sworn I was recording. What just happened? Okay, I just took out the T-Yankee. I thought I was recording when I did it. I took very little damage, but Ofang 4 ethics changes. Several of our abduction teams stationed on the observation post above Ofang 4 have apparently been using their thrusters of their shuttles to burn large circles and complex patterns into crops fields belonging to the pre-FDL Natfankans that are indigenous to the planet. The shuttle crews have been severely reprimanded for this prank, but the natives appear to be convinced that the crop circles have some mathematical meaning. A new scientific movement has developed to study the pattern, and it is gaining popularity among the Natfankans at an alarming rate. So they're now materialists. We hunted the T-Yankee and Magum. We have successfully hunted down and killed some wild T-Yankee in the Magum system. Our fleet has used laser cutters to extract materials and resources from the massive T-Yankee remains. We got exotic gases and energy credits out of that. Now this battle, they did a total of 56 hull damage to us. Armor damage. I'm not that worried about stopping to repair for that. As a matter of fact, I'll figure out which fleets actually have the damage and put my engineer there. Matter of fact, it is the fleet with the engineer, so I don't need to do a damn thing. But I can have these fleets move along. Strike Force Medusa is still listed as attacking the T-Yankee. Let's pass a day. There we go. Now it says attacking Alien Menace. Alright, we're going to move and take Delta Cephi with Strike Force Dragon. And we'll have the Fortress Legionnaires push on to... Actually, we'll just tell them to push on to Punters. No, we can't get there until we get to Plessis. But yeah, we'll have them go after the next one. They'll get involved in the fight if it's still going on afterwards. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and tell all of our combat fleets here to push onto this system. They'll take out that system on the way. I should be able to reinforce a fleet now. I'm still only getting corvettes, enough for corvettes though. But yeah, we'll reinforce a corvette here. Our operatives have dispersed amongst the various scientific... this is supposed to commence when ready. And that's going to add an additional debris that I need to research here. Although it's now showing up four additional debris. Two of these are... one of these is already queued up, I think. Yeah, their fleets keep popping up here with my Wayfarer. That's just them building reinforcements. I'm not that worried about that.
Battle debris secured.
10% to shields and sensors. Our first debris is cleared out.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
We have compact living. Gives us another available envoy and reduces our empire size effect a little bit. While no one civilization has the perfect solution to the ever-expanding challenge of governing a growing nation, we have found a partial solution. After studying a multitude of species and governments, we have discovered an outstanding balance of flexibility and function. Increasing the capital building will give me an overall boost to resources. Overall boost to pop growth speed would also help with the development of my colonies. I think the improved capital building, I have planets that are at least 50, I think. Let's do a quick check. Yes, we do have at least one planet that can make use of this, and I do now have a statecraft person. It'll take 5 years to get that. Was there anything else I might have wanted faster? The only other thing I could really get is pop growth speed in about a year sooner. I think the improved production is better. And we also got frigates, or space torpedoes. These torpedoes are essentially very large, slow-moving missiles. They are equipped with more powerful warheads and shield modulators that let them slip unmolested through energy screens. So they ignore shields, do bonus damage to armor, and the weapon deals additional multiplicative damage based on the ship's size. So hitting a destroyer would do double damage, hitting a cruiser would do 4 times damage. Now that we're going to start running into bigger ships, these are going to be useful. I will be designing some frigates, and they will be cloaking ships, because the torpedoes have a range of 30. So these are things that I want to get in close, decloak, and since they will primarily be using cloak, I won't bother with shields. They will just be full-on armor. And they would need to be able to repair in the field, so I'd probably give them regenerative hull tissue. And I should have clicked pick a tech. We got a rare tech, defense platform hull points. Don't really need that right now. Planetary build speed might be nice. See, we're 5 months away from shields. It'd be a year to get afterburners. 3 years to get autocannons. I think that would take 7 years, but when I actually do get cruisers starting to be built, which will be a while, I'll get a slight reduction on the cost and a quicker speed on them. I think that is a better one to go for, despite its expense, because I think I will get some of these others just through research or debris and stealing tech. Anti-grav engineering, it would still take about 75 months. That's 6 years. I could knock out assembly patterns in 2 and get a reroll, but also standardized cruiser patterns is a tier 3 tech, so it counts toward the 6 tier 3 engineering techs I need to unlock tier 4 techs. So yeah, I think I will go for that one. And I do have a Voidcraft, don't I? Yes. He's doing a reconnaissance, so level really doesn't matter for that one. And now that I don't have combat in this system, I'm going to go ahead and decloak for now. Not active reconnaissance, decloak. While I do the debris and get caught up with my fleets. Speaking of getting caught up with my fleets, can any of them afford to reinforce? No. Now we do have an additional envoy. I think I will go with the galactic community for now. That gives me a slight boost. Gets me up to 3277, which would actually bump me above the sovereignty of Tukali. But yeah, that only adds about 300 to regulatory facilitation. It's not going to be significant enough yet. I need to re-prepare sleeper cells here, but I don't have the influence.
Engaging enemy station.
These are outposts. This should be extremely fast. Yeah, our large guns can actually start hitting them out before they hit us, because they only have medium guns. And as a matter of fact, we should be holding back at range with our large weapons. That's a Corvette. That one should get in close, I think. Well, that's a North Star Interceptor. Yeah, it has missiles. But yeah, most of our artillery should be hanging back. And that's actually our artillery right there, getting up close. Yeah, they're not even getting through our shields. They only did 15 points of damage to our shields at this point with the firepower we have to bring to bear. So as we keep pushing through here, as a matter of fact, I can send... I only need one fleet. Let's send the... No, I don't want to rename you. I want to select you. We'll send the Fortress Legionnaires are going there. We'll send the rest, everyone but the Legionnaires, onto this system. Actually, we'll just tell them to go all the way onto this system. They'll intercept this system on the way, I believe. But this way they should cut through this system and not even get involved in the fight that the Fortress Legionnaires are going to do. So we'll go back to the Fortress Legionnaires and tell them to go there after they get that system. And I can go ahead and tell my fleet, let's go ahead and embark this transport fleet and send them on to enter orbit of that planet. They'll be behind my other fleets, so my other fleets should get there first. But yeah, they only did 44 points to my shields before we took out an outpost. Now that they're not in combat, that should be the last corvette that needed to be reinforced. Now I need to save up for destroyers. And I believe... Oh, they did split up their fleets. Yeah, they're moving around taking things. Cool. Are you bombarding? You are. Well, that's fine. If you want to bombard the hell out of that, and then you can send transports and claim them for me, that's great. Of course, they're probably doing selective bombardment, so it'll take them a little bit longer. They're actually moving to the Vuzabaru system. Okay, they're moving over to this battlefront. I'm fine with that. The Glostwarhenian entered a migration treaty with the Allied Multics territories.
Recon pass completed.
Hegemony of Ubaria declared us rivals again. And we finally finished surveying the Nunki system with this fleet over here. So let's actually see if we can send them down. Can they reach there? There's no route for them to get there. Alright, we are going to have to find a route. Oh, what's stopping us are things like Trappist. I think they have, what's the word I'm looking for? FTL inhibitors. I don't know if the FTL inhibitors affect cloaked ships. Let's see, we can get to there. We can cut through the Shadow Nebula. We should have a route to get there. Alright, let's see if we can get... It says we can't get there. We can't get there, there. They do have FTL inhibitors that are going to be stopping us. But we can get to there and start doing active reconnaissance at least. Yeah, they must have an FTL inhibitor in this system. Now, how are we routing there? Ah, we're going through a neutral territory to get there. So yeah, these would also be FTL inhibitors, I think. Although, it's not showing that we can't get to there. It's showing we can't get there. But yeah, we should be able to make it to Vith. And then we'll worry about sneaking further in later. Yeah, the FTL inhibitors only really stop us, I think, when we're at war. When we're at peace, they do not.
Battle debris secured.
Yeah, we just got some physics and engineering out of that one. And the one that's left has some energy siphon tech. After which we will probably move to here, but it'll be a while before we get there.
Engaging enemy station.
Citizen Confederation of Gavazul entered a migration treaty with the Hegemony of Ubaria. And we have finally engaged the station with at least one of these fleets. Yeah, the mercenaries will be taking that outpost out for us. I wish they'd replaced their leader already. So we're going to start preparing sleeper cells for the not the United Latrepian domains. What am I thinking? United Latrepian domains is Yeah, I accidentally selected the United Latrepian domains. What did a commercial pact do with us? They'll get more out of it. Yeah, I wanted to do Hegemony of Ubaria. Alright, we'll need to save up to do the sleeper cells in a few months. We're already on the final stage here and have a minimum of getting at least one insight out of it, so it should be fairly quick since we do a roll every month, basically. Yeah, it only takes 30 days. So it'll take about 3 months before we have a chance of a breakthrough.
Science Division reports a new breakthrough.
We now have shields. These new shield generators represent the next generation of energy screens, replacing the older deflector technology. They offer significantly better protection. Ooh, advanced cloaking field. That's very expensive though. We might go with field modulation because we could use the boost to, that's fairly quick, and we could use the boost to energy credits. Now, I don't believe we have a field modulation specialist, so we will just keep this researcher in here. We'll have it in 16 months. By themselves, they took 122 shield damage, and they're now on their way to Plessis. They should catch up with my other strike forces because they're going to have to take the time to fight.
Engaging enemy station.
Basic compound, and oh, that's my cloaked ship moving back through. Took a little bit more shield damage from that.
Battle debris secured.
A little bit toward frequency tuning. That's tech I probably will never end up using. Alright, so now I can move. Let's go ahead and switch to passive. And move into there. We'll be done with this combat shortly.
Engaging enemy station.
We took a little bit of armor damage, but no hull damage out of that. We'll go ahead and send the one that can repair as it goes, Strike Force Medusa, to take Puntrazed. And then have the other fleets that are here enter orbit and wait for repairs before we push on. This one, since it is fully healthy, it's a 3K. I think I would rather wait for all of my fleets to be ready. So we'll just enter orbit there as well before we start taking star bases. I mean, these do not have defense platforms. This one might. It did before. It does have a defense platform. So yeah, we took about 400 hull damage, armor damage, so we do want to repair that. And I can go ahead and I think order this fleet to go ahead and land. Yeah, they only have 2 armies there. Established factions and fledgling movements alike have taken an unusually keen interest in our new colony on Earth 2. From the moment we announced settlement of this modest planet, nearly every political voice in the Commonwealth of Man has had something to say about it. Our analysts don't suspect that anything truly radical is taking root on Earth 2, but they advise some caution. It's clear our various political entities intend to campaign vigorously on this burgeoning world. We cannot allow this. This will boost our governing ethics and our stability on that world, but reduce unity from jobs. Right now, the only unity we would be getting from jobs is if we happen to have an entertainer working. And it'll be 40 years, a slight penalty. I can deal with that. We cannot allow this. I should be getting that steel tech, I was about to say, popping soon. Alright, so we get 30% towards centralized command. No, that's not a tech we're currently researching. That will do. Mission accomplished.
Engaging enemy station. All sword ground elements are dropping on target.
Now we're fully repaired already, so we will return here to where this fleet is, and then move as a mass to take these star bases. Let's have a look down here. I don't have sight on it, so I can't see if they have defense platforms. Yeah, they didn't do but a little bit of shield damage anyway. Our exhaustion is climbing faster, unfortunately. And we're about equivalent in ships lost, but they have about a 30% reduction in the space battle exhaustion. Maybe it's because of the size of their fleets. That many ships is not that significant to them. Relative Navy strength, we're at minus 25 for, so they have a lot of relative Navy compared to us. Now we can begin preparing sleeper cells. As you see, steel technology is currently at difficulty 4. Prepare sleeper cells is only difficulty 2. We can prepare sleeper cells with our clerk. We need 2 insights and have no chance of not getting an insight every month. At least 1 insight every month. We don't have enough influence to run any further ones. We'll need to re-prepare sleeper cells with this one by the time the year is out. Or actually in October. So in 9 months, we should have what we need to start building sleeper cells again with this group. Or we could start preparing sleeper cells here. And actually this might be the better idea, because I'm pretty sure they have better technology. Well, we don't have assets with them yet. So yeah, I think we'll prepare the sleeper cells here first, so that we can be ready to try stealing more tech. And then the next one we would do, when we had enough points, would be prepare sleeper cells down here so we can start acquiring assets. And I should be able... Yes. That is both of the missing destroyers. It should be a Manticore and an Ascendant we are building. Let's make sure that is what it is. Yes. So Strike Force Medusa will be back to full strength. Strike Force Dragon has the most down, so the next one would probably be Strike Force Gorgon that we build up. And why is Strike Force Gorgon not repairing? It's in orbit. But it has been another 5 years. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.